Hey, it's Trevor Grant from Revenue Hub. Welcome to one of our Who Are We videos, where we talk with one of our expert partners and find out a bit more about them and their organization. Today, we're joined by Fulvio Giannetti, CEO of Lybra Tech. I really hope you enjoy what they have to say. And as always, if you're keen to hear more from thought leaders in the hotel and travel sector, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you know when we have new content. And if you like what we're doing, please give a thumbs up, as it really helps the channel. Anyway, let's roll the intro. Hi, Fulvio. Welcome to Revenue Hub. Great to have you with us. How are you? You well?
Very well, thank you, Trevor. Nice to meet you, and it's a pleasure to me to be here.
You're welcome. Great to have you, and great to have Lybra Tech as an expert partner. Great to have the opportunity to talk with you today, hear a little bit more about you, hear about your organization, hear about your core solution, the Lybra Assistant. So we'll get into all of that, but I guess the best place to start is to hear a little bit about who Fulvio Giannetti is and a bit about your background. So if I hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you for the perfect pronunciation of my name.
Thank you.
And yes, I'm Fulvio Giannetti. I'm the CEO of Lybra Tech, which is a revenue management company. And I'm also, probably more than a CEO, I'm a data scientist. I used to work in many companies before, starting from Coca-Cola, then I moved into hospitality industry, working from channel manager, and then I moved to Price Match, and then I moved to Booking.com, and then we decided to create this company, which is Lybra Tech. Also, I'm a teacher at the university.
Oh, wow.
I teach data science and big data applications. So I feel very comfortable in this speaking about data science more than speaking
Yeah, no, I could imagine. Very interesting background, number of different companies, and the teaching part must be a nice addition, but also a nice distraction, being able to educate people coming up into the industry.
Yes. I would say that before I had more time. Now I'm trying to reduce in the time I can give to the lessons, because it's now it's be involved in technology in these times is very, let's say, you need to have a lot of commitment, a lot of time, because it's very challenging. So it's
very time consuming.
Time consuming, yes.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well, I guess the next thing is, having heard a little bit about you, it would make sense to obviously hear about Lybra Tech. Kind of just an idea, if you can, about how long the business has been established, size of the company. I know there's been some changes going on over the last few months, so insights into that would be great.
Okay, so we founded Lybra 3 years ago, but we established the company 4 years ago. So okay, because we needed 1 year to test the system. It was very long year. And then in 2017, we entered into the business. And after, so we developed this revenue management tool, starting from a different point of view, let's say.
Yeah.
So we started to integrate directly all the market data into the algorithm. This was very time-consuming, because it was the first time, I think, there was no literature in these terms for this kind of developments in terms of algorithm development, because it's let's say revenue management in terms of data science is a young.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So we had to start from the scratch, everything, and it was a very nice journey. And after 3 years, we had a very nice results. And we recently, 6 months ago, we were acquired by Giannetti Group, which is one of the biggest group there. They provide technology solution to more than 30,000 hotels worldwide. Wow. Basically, from US to Australia. And now we are here in the middle of the biggest crisis ever, but which is an extraordinary time of change for us, for all the people involved, not only in this hospitality industry, and but it's something we have to come across, and we have to put more effort to fix all the issues related to these new situations, and I think we are working very well in this on this side.
Excellent. And you said, sorry, go
on. We are 18 people, and we have 3 offices in Europe, Rome, in Barcelona, and in Athens.
You were saying, whilst Giannetti has a global profile, from Lybra's point of view, have you been predominantly Europe up until this point? What's your kind of geographical focus? Your customer? Is it sort of the chains, independent hotels? Could you give a little insight into that?
We have both. Let's say, in terms geographically speaking, we have clients in LATAM, we have clients in Asia, in Europe. So mostly everywhere. I think in more than 30 countries now.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm not sure about this number. And I think it's. We have big chains as clients, but also small hotels.
Okay.
Because Lybra we have different modules, so can be adapted
accordingly. Okay. Well, that sounds like a perfect opportunity to kind of get us to talk about your core solution. So the Lybra assistant, and you mentioned a little bit earlier that when you started the company, you came at things from a slightly different perspective. So can you talk to us about that core solution, the core offering, and if you want to touch on the adaptability of it, feel free to.
Yes, everything starts from the name, which is Lybra. Lybra is the logo of Lybra is the name. Of course, it's Latin, is a balance. Because we have tried 3 years ago to create something to balance the human experience with the machine learning technology.
Okay.
Which was very interesting approach for us, because we can say that Lybra is an assistant more than is a revenue management, but it's an assistant.
Okay.
Assistant because we want to assist a revenue manager. So Lybra, thanks to machine learning, is able to be very close to the revenue manager. So we adapt. The machine learning system is able to be adapted to adapt itself to the revenue manager strategies on the long term. So what we do is just to follow up, to give a results to any action taken by the revenue manager. So we are able to measure the efficiency of any strategy.
Okay.
So they are free to decide everything they want in terms of strategy. What we do, we measure, we store all those information, and we're able next time to propose and to give them some suggestions very close to the way they think. This because even if we collect a lot of data, still we are not able, of course, to replace the revenue manager experience. It's quite impossible. At least for the next 5 years, then we'll see.
It's being tried, isn't
it? Technology is running at an incredible pace. But for now, what we do is just to be close to them, so to analyze the patterns, the behavior, the revenue manager, and the results from the other side, matching them, and try to be very close, because as I told you before, we are not able to replace the experience of the revenue manager, but we're able to integrate this experience into our algorithm.
So is it more sort of analyzing what they are doing and their strategies and the outcomes from those strategies to then see where there could be improvements next time round?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, for example, in terms of pricing, when we suggest a price, of course, the client, the revenue manager can accept or not this price.
Mm-hmm.
If he is going to accept this, okay. If he make a choice to not accept the price, we store all the, let's say, the picture around.
Yeah.
So all the data around this choice, we store. And the second time we store. The third time it does not accept it, we store. So at the end we can build a pattern. So if us is a pattern, it means that the revenue manager has a strategy, because on the other side, one of the problems is that most of the decisions sometimes can be based on just on emotions, not logic.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't find a pattern, so it means it's a logic behind. It means it's based on emotions. So we don't follow up with the recommendation based on the revenue manager strategy, but we follow our strategy. So just to reduce the bias related to the
emotional side.
Behind any choice. Yeah, because at the end, any choice, I think most of our choice are based on emotion sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, emotions, how we're feeling, beginning of the day, end of the week, beginning of the week. It's amazing when you look at the decision making, how that gets influenced according to the human mindset and mood. So no, and as you say, it is a different approach to what is typically out there from, say, an RMS system, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I don't know very much other RMS system, but the only thing that I know is when we do a demo, usually clients say that we are very different from others. This for me is very rewarding, because it means that we are working in the right direction. We are going to the right direction, and I'm very glad when they say this, because it means that all the hard working we're putting on the system has some results.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned when you were talking about your company and your clients that there's some adaptability around your solution, whether it be for large chains, medium-sized groups, or smaller properties. Can you just give a little bit of an insight into what you mean by that?
Yes. So we have different modules like the group displacement, the gap analysis, or the allotment management tool. We are developing now, but will be ready in few months. So we have more modules. What we are trying to do, because one of the problem in the hotel, but it's not a problem. It's the real situation is that there is a lot of heterogeneity of hotels. So many hotels, different way of thinking, different approaches, different needs. And what we do is just to create some clusters, and provide them with the main tools they need, and according to this we developed all those modules. There are many, and now we have more than 10 modules available for different situations. And what we have tried to do is also what do you say? I mean, this is a more philosophical, but it's not philosophical. It's, revenue management is a soft science, which is different from hard science. Hard science means like physics. If I have this mouse, I drop this mouse, it falls down. And it happens everywhere. I think in London where you're based, and here in Rome where different is for revenue manager or economic. No, I cannot. I can do something, but doesn't mean that the things that I do now will be equal in any situations, because you cannot replace all the variables in the time. It's like a soccer game when they say, well, it was better to play 4-3-3 instead of 4-4-2, but you cannot check. Cannot check. It's impossible.
There's so many variables. Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many variables, and of course you cannot replace, recreate. I mean, the experimental lab. And so based on this concept, we have tried to build something to give more, let's say, to make revenue management a little bit more hard in terms of science. Trying to get more and more data into the system, feed the algorithm with all this data. But of course, not all the hotels need all the data.
Yeah, good point.
That's why we built some modules.
Those modules, so that you can have a baseline for every hotel, but then depending on the difference of the hotel, its location, its market, its facilities, they can build modules into it as they need.
Yes, but what is the same is the constraint. We have one constraint, just one, which is anything we build. Any graph, any table, any output we build should be understandable from the client side in maximum 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
Based on this, we developed, I cannot tell you how many features we developed, and then we threw away because it was out of this constraint. Yeah. But it was very useful, even without taking into consideration the hard work, but it's very useful because now we can say that we have a system that is very easy to understand, easy to very oriented to actions, actionable.
And that's key, because I think one of the questions when anyone talks about data, unless you're a data scientist or a data analyst, a lot of people's eyes start to glaze over, because they suddenly feel there's going to be so much information. How am I, I know I will be given charts and graphs, but how do I know that it's the core information that I really need to be able to help me to maybe make better decisions? So having that constraint that it must be understood within a very short period of time drives you towards that user experience and the user interface that actually works and delivers.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Now, we're all globally in a very interesting scenario because of the COVID crisis. So when I ask you, looking forward, what are the challenges? I'm certainly not expecting you to answer how we solve the COVID scenario, but more specifically in terms of what you foresee from a revenue management, from a data point of view, from what you see with your clients and their demands. Looking ahead over the next few years, what's kind of on the agenda for Lybra Tech? And obviously not giving away competitor intelligence. I appreciate that.
So we have a lot. I mean, this period is very bad in terms of business for anyone. But in the other side, from a data science perception and a business perception, is there are a lot of opportunities, because people now, anyone wants to change. Yeah. Anyone is open to change. More than before, of course. Yeah. And this is a very good environment for us in terms of development, because what we did now, even more in the Zucchetti Group, we have now, since, as I told you, there are 30,000 hotels. We have a lot of connection with the PMSs. So we started like a lab. Okay. So to improve integrations, because we are on the same company now. Yes. One of the main problems in the hospitality industry is that there are many PMSs, and the integrations are the main problem. Yeah, because most of PMSs are very close to this side. But working together in the same company, so we have they open up all the technology to us. So there is a world now we are exploring. And in terms of connection with the PMS and channel managers, but even in terms of data. because having 30,000 tiles, it means also I have a lot of data.
A lot more data.
And this is something we are working very hard on now, because I think then we, as I told you before, we are in an extraordinary time of change. But the change now should involve a paradigm change.
Okay.
The paradigm of the revenue manager now is going to be, I think, will change in the. It means that anything will be based on the future data than the past data, even if it's very complex. And I think this is one of the most complex things to do, because any prediction, with regardless the algorithm or the method, or is based on some past data, anytime, everywhere. So thinking to give less importance to the past data and more importance to the future data means open new door and understand better this future data, understand better those correlations, and so we are creating new like a new field.
From a data science background, as you say, no wonder it's an enjoyable time for you. You've just been given a whole load more data to work with. Brilliant. That's superb. I mean, the purpose of this short conversation, just to hear a little bit more about you, hear a little bit more about Lybra, hear more about Lybra Assistant. Any final thoughts from your side, or any final comments? We've covered everything that we wanted to during this conversation.
I have no specific questions for the moment.
Perfect. Well, it's been wonderful to have you. I really appreciate you finding the time to sit down and talking with us, and look forward to hopefully exploring a little bit more into what Lybra are doing, and hear a little bit more about your innovations and developments, and what exciting opportunities there will be going forward. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes. I'm glad. I will take your update. In the next months, we are working a lot. I mean, a lot means a lot, day and night. But it's our job. So I'm happy when I work a lot. It means there are many things to do.
To do, absolutely.
And many projects open. So the problem is the opposite, when there is nothing to do, and because you have no idea, so there is no future.
Very, very different. Yeah, it's superb. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.